when I first got my Ridgeline in March of 2017, I'd never had a truck before and decided that, you know what, screw it. I was going to get my buddies together and go for a road trip, like a 5,000-mile road trip down to the Grand Canyon from Portland. Pretty epic road trip. So the reason that I'm making this video is, although this vehicle looks the same, I did pick up a brand new 2020 Honda Ridgeline Black Edition. I love the truck. I love the platform. It gets everything done that I need it to do, and I take it, I take it out and about quite often. So I wanted to start over at 0 miles, and I picked this thing up. So there is a road trip at hand here. Sorry, I'm just watching some traffic in front of me, but yeah, so I'm setting out today with 200 miles on this brand new truck for another road trip. And my buddies and I are going to go down to the very far southeastern corner of Oregon to the Alvord Desert. And if any of you guys know what that place is or have seen pictures of it, it looks like Mars, looks like a wasteland. It's pretty epic for Oregon. And you don't think of places like that here, because when you think of Oregon, you think of trees and sun, or trees and rain and whatnot. So it should be a pretty epic road trip. We're going to go camping for a couple nights out there and see what happens. As you can tell, I've got my buddy back here. He's just enjoying the views from the back. But yeah, should be a fun time. Something this is also going to do is it's going to be able to give me a pretty good impression of what the new 2020 Ridgeline is like versus the first gen or the original 17 through 19 design. Obviously, there's not a lot that was updated, right? But just in as simple as hardwiring in my radar detector, the wiring is completely different in a lot of weird places. So they've done a lot more than simply change the transmission to the new ZF 9-speed. I've had a couple Acura TLXs with that. My mom has a Passport Elite with it, and historically I have not been a fan of this transmission, but I believe that Honda got the software right in this thing, because my mom's Passport has been rock solid. I've heard a lot of great things about the Ridgeline, not so much Passport, but hopefully it'll prove to be rock solid, and we'll see how it ends up. So just a short little update. We finally have left the rain behind. As you can see, we're about 400 and some odd miles into the trip. Wide open spaces. So far, some things that I noticed about the 2020 Ridgeline though, the sport mode works really well. Definitely is a lot more aggressive, and it feels quick. The suspension feels noticeably tighter, and I don't know if that's because it switched out or if it's because my 17 Ridgeline with 50,000 miles, the suspension was already starting to get weak. So I don't know. I'll check the part numbers when I get some service and see what those look like. But yeah, it's been a great ride, very relaxing. So as the road trip winds down, roughly 1,000 miles later, here's some final thoughts on the 2020 versus 2017 Honda Ridgeline. The lane keep assist and the adaptive cruise do work much better. They're a lot tighter. They're not as delayed. They pick things up a lot quicker, which has been really nice because that was a gripe that I had on the 17. The transmission feels great. I think Honda finally nailed the software to go with the ZF9 speed. Like I said, my mom's Passport has been great since she got it transmission wise, so I had pretty high hopes going into this vehicle. The suspension and the steering both feel tighter, and I'm not 100% sure on if it's because mine had 50,000 miles on it or if it's because they did revise some stuff with it. But overall, I don't know if there's enough here to want to trade out of a 2017 through 19 unless you just want to get rid of the mileage, which is exactly what my goal was. So we're finishing up this road trip here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any questions.